Hey everybody, and welcome to Orchard Student Ministry, and happy Mother's Day to all the moms that are watching, or if you have a mom, happy Mother's Day to their mom, which I feel like is all of us. We have an awesome night planned for you tonight. We have worship with Fabio. We have a message from a mom because it's Mother's Day, and we are wrapping up our series LoveHate. We are so excited and so thankful for this series. It's been a lot of fun. Enjoy the night, guys.
Mother's Day. I hope you had a great day with your mom, hanging out and just doing whatever you and your mom like to do, since we are in quarantine and you can't go very many places. So I hope that you all had a great day. And I'm excited to be wrapping up our final message in our series, LoveHate. And I just want to have an honest conversation with you guys tonight. This is something that has been really big in my life, and we are talking about judging others. Unfortunately, when I was talking about this message and reviewing it and typing it up, it just brought back a lot of bad memories of me judging other people or people judging me, and it was hard. It was hard to get away from that, and so we're just gonna I just want to have a conversation with you guys tonight about it. And I know that we have all filled in the blanks on people in our lives. We have judged them before we actually knew that person or assumed something about that person. And there's a story in John chapter 8 that I want to read tonight to y'all. So if you want to go ahead and turn to John chapter 8, we'll be there. But just to set up this story a little bit, Jesus was teaching in the temple. So people were gathered around Jesus teaching in the temple. And then all of a sudden, in the middle of him teaching, these religious leaders had this lady who was in the middle of committing adultery and threw her in front of him. So let's go to John chapter 8, and we're going to start in verse 3. Then the scribes and the Pharisees brought a woman caught in adultery, making her stand in the center. "Teacher," they said to him, "this woman was caught in the act of committing adultery. In the law, Moses commanded us to stone such women. So what do you say?" They asked this to trap him in order that they might have evidence to accuse him. Okay, so this lady was in the middle of committing a sin, and they just threw her in front of Jesus. And reading the story, my heart just broke for her. I know that she's in the middle of committing sin, but I mean, how humiliating that must have felt. So let's go ahead and keep reading the rest of verse 6. Jesus stooped down and started writing on the ground with his finger. When they persisted in questioning him, he stood up and said to them, "The one without sin among you be the first to throw a stone at her." Then he stooped down again and continued writing on the ground. When they heard this, they left one by one, starting with the older men. Only he was left with the woman in the center. When Jesus stood up, he said to her, "Woman, where are they? Has no one condemned you?" "No one, Lord," she answered. "Neither do I condemn you," said Jesus. "Go, and from now on do not sin anymore." I love this story. There's two sides to this story. They're both guilty. The woman was guilty, and the religious leaders were guilty. But I love how Jesus is just saying to them, basically, have you not done anything wrong? I mean, the religious leaders, you have to know their background. They really based their they really didn't have a relationship with God. They really focused on their works and how good of a person they were. And so I love how Jesus talks to both people. It's not him pointing fingers at one person or pointing fingers at the other. Collectively, both people were in the wrong, but the way that Jesus reacted to them was with love. He chose love. And the woman and those religious leaders, they both showed up with a reputation. The religious leaders had a bad reputation of going around and trying to find people who were sinning and who were doing wrong so that I guess they could feel better about themselves. And then the woman, she was committing adultery. And so they were both in the wrong, but that day they had the choice to leave that situation as completely different people. And I just love that about God. I love how Jesus shows us that no matter what we've done, no matter what reputation we have, we can still be loved. We are worthy of forgiveness, grace, a second chance, all because Jesus came and died on the cross for us. How amazing is that? And if he did that for us, then why are we going around and judging other people and assuming things about other people if we don't even know that person that well? You know, it could be the new kid at school who shows up, who moved across the country because his parents got a new job, and you may not have gotten to know that kid yet, but you're already assuming things about them based on what they're wearing that day or the way that they talk. I mean, I know that happens. I know that's happened with me before, and I've judged people, and I can't go back and change the past. None of us can go back and change our past, but we have a choice right now to change the way that we treat other people. And so instead of filling in the blank with your own assumptions about somebody or judgmental thoughts about that person, how about the next time you encounter somebody, why don't you let love fill in the blank? Let love fill in the blank. Can you do that? I know you can. I have been able to do that in my own life, and I'm not saying that in the future I will never judge somebody else, because we are all human. We're all going to make mistakes. But with Jesus, He can help us do that. I know that the past 5 years of my life, God has really radically changed the way that I think about people and the way that I live my day-to-day life, and just surrendering those thoughts about other people to Him. And I promise you, if you do that, you'll have so much more peace in your life. And so I just want to ask you to do that. We can be people who are full of love, full of the love of Jesus, and we can be known as people who do that, who live with the love of Jesus and give the love of Jesus to other people.
Ashley, thank you so much for that message. Guys, I hope you have enjoyed our Love-Hate series, and I hope that it has helped motivate you and inspire you to become people who are all about love. The greatest love that I can think of, besides a mom's love for their kids, because it's Mother's Day, is the ultimate love of Jesus. And if you haven't started a relationship with Him, that is the number one best decision you could ever make. And you should say yes to Jesus because He wants to have a relationship with you, and He did a lot just to start that relationship with you. And if you're feeling in this time that you know now is when you need to start a relationship with Him, you can do that by just talking to Him, and the best way we talk to Him is just by prayer. So you can pray something similar to what I'm going to lead you through in just a moment. It's not a magic prayer, it's not magical words, but it's just our heart and our faith crying out to God and talking to Him and telling Him that we want a relationship with Him. You can pray something like this: Jesus, I believe in who You are. I acknowledge that I'm a sinner and that I need You. I'm confessing my sins to You, and I want to have a relationship with You. Jesus, I'm saying yes to You. Yes, be my Lord, and yes, be my Savior. If you just said yes to Jesus, that is the best decision you can ever make. And we want to celebrate with you, and we want to know about it. Please let us know in the comments, or you can text us to the number on your screen at 720-580-1367, and we would love to help you take your next steps in following Jesus. The best way to stay up to date with everything going on with Orchard Student Ministry is to subscribe and turn on the notifications to our YouTube channel. And if you want to tell your friends about our YouTube channel, you can just go to youtube.com/Orchard Student Ministry. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. We love you. See you next time.